Yo, today's show is brought to you by Audible. Please visit audiblepodcast.com/BADB for your free audio download. Go there right now.
This podcast is also brought to you by Gamefly.com. Go to www.gamefly.com/BEAST to get a free 15-day 2-disc trial.
I was like, motherfucker, you didn't do shit. I got this booking.
Done.
How dare you? Yeah, and I
Done.
called him and I fired him. That was it.
Hi, Kalita.
Wow, you're a tough chick.
I'm so ballsy. I'm so show business. I don't fuck around. I love you so much.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're my favorite. I don't like a lot of girl comics, but
Really?
you're like legit funny, and that's so rare.
Wow,
Love
you're
you.
so sweet. I last night was Googling myself because I'm a complete narcissist, as my relatives that I just visited in Kansas want to always tell me so. And we were on like a little clip together, and it was you and me, but like you just real quick, like ha ha ha. But you know, Carol Leifer was on the little clip. You know, it's just like a 30-second lead-in or commercial
this
or whatever.
is for that stand-up in stilettos.
Stand-up in stilettos.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm in good company, even though they only flashed me for half
That
of a
sucks.
half of a second.
Did you wear stilettos on the taping?
I did, because that's how I fucking roll. Did you? You didn't.
No, I'm
though.
a pig.
Yeah.
You're better at being girly. I think
Well,
you're better.
pretty girly. I didn't comb my hair this morning. You did.
I thought we
I
were
didn't put eyeliner on. You did.
Can I tell you why? Because
I just had a piece of gum. I didn't even brush my teeth.
I thought you guys taped this shit, and I was like, oh, nothing's worse when you're on the internet and you look like dog shit.
No, we've been trying to do more, but I just got back from vacation, so I was like, fuck it, we're gonna roll it old school.
Old school. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Where did you go?
I went to Kansas. I went to
Oh.
Kansas and hung out with everyone in my family has red hair, so I hung out with a bunch of redheads.
Gingers.
And gingers in the house, and the boys got to run around. Have you saw my little boys?
Adorable.
They got to run around in the little town that my dad lives in, and had a girl talk dirty to him for the first time, which I was mortified over. I was like, no! And I'd make him text me every 15 minutes, where are you? We're in the Memorial Park, which is like a half a block. Everything is a half a block. That's how small the town is. It's like a dead town. It's totally going to die, you know. And they just had the best time, and they skateboarded and tried to be cool. It was fun.
Wait, how old is he?
My son?
Yeah, who got dirty talk?
No, my 11-year-old and my 13-year-old. And here's the thing, like they played chicken in that instance. They didn't want to leave the group, you know, because they were trying to be too cool. And I was like, I'm going to go fucking, I was totally being like helicopter mom. I'm going to go fucking check up on those motherfuckers and the pretense of your little niece wants to say goodbye. So we go there, and my oldest son, he skateboards right over. I'm really uncomfortable. We have to leave here. And I'm all like, what? Was a boy mean to you? No, we just have to leave right now. And then my other one reluctantly came, and then it totally spilled out. Those girls said naughty things to us, and
The dirty girls.
how big is your penis? I know.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know.
Did you do that? Were you a dirty girl?
I wasn't. I remember being at a party when I was like 15, and one girl said, oh my God, that guy totally has a boner. And I sat there and I was perplexed for like a half hour.
Yeah.
Like, what is a boner? What could a boner be? Like, you know, I was so naive, you know?
Me too. When I was in 3rd grade, Robbie Graham ran out of the boys' bathroom and he rubbed his crotch and he looked at me and he went, ooh, I got a boner. And I was like, what is a boner? And my mom is a foreigner. So I came home and I asked my mother, who's Hungarian, I was like, what's a boner? And she's like, I don't know what a boner. So it never resolved.
I'll tell you what a cock is.
Yeah. She was very homophobic too. Because I found out what the word dyke was, and I asked my mom what a dyke was, and she was like, "I think it's a lesbian. These disgusting lesbians." And she's like, "I don't know what these dykes do. Maybe licking each other to death. That they lick each other to death. Like, who hates lesbians? You know?" Just
Well,
my
your moms,
mom.
when they do weird shit when you're a daughter, is like crazy. One time I went to a parent-teacher conference with my mother, and because we didn't have a babysitter, I think I was in 6th grade, and we're sitting with the English teacher, and the English teacher's like, you know, Felicia has a really good grasp of structure and language, and maybe she should take a foreign language. And my mother's from Berlin, Germany, and
No.
and my mother goes, well, I speak French, you know. And the teacher is like, oh, really? Pleasant teacher in a little matching, you know, sweater set with skirt. And my mom goes, yes, but not the language. I don't know why I adopted your mother's voice, but there it is.
But I think Berliner and Hungarian are pretty equivalent in terms of
Yes.
hard knocks.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
some hard shit to grow
Oh,
up
yeah.
in. Is she totally crazy, your mom?
Oh, my mom was totally crazy. My mom grew up, she's older than your mom, I'm sure, but she grew up, was born in 1940 in Berlin during the war. So like when I was all like, I'm bored, I don't have enough choices over candy bars, she'd break out that, let me tell you about the oatmeal from the Americans and the rats that came and got it. You know what I mean? She would bust it. Joey, I fucking missed you, dude. See how chatty I am right now? It's insane.
We're back, bitches. Felicia Michaels.
Joey Diaz.
What's up, you sexy bitch?
As you hear quite a bit.
Let me tell you something. Last week I had a rough time because Felicia was out of town. Now, you don't know how much you love somebody till somebody's out of town and there ain't shit to do. Because Felicia's my go-to girl. She's
I know,
one
we
of my
hang
best
out.
friends.
We go
out
have
in the
Mexican
daytime,
food. We totally
go get
fucking hang
coffee.
out all the
we
time.
hang out all the
Do
time.
you guys talk every day on the phone?
Pretty much, yeah. We're boomers.
yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
I even my wife said something to me. She goes, "You're a little fucked up this week. Felicia's gone. You can't get it together." Because I really, like by Wednesday, I'm like, "What is killing me?" You do a podcast every week.
Yeah.
You do all these little things every week, and now that person's gone. And we had been, like, for the 3 weeks prior, we basically almost moved in. We went on the road for 4 nights, 5 nights.
Yeah,
So
we
just
needed
steady.
a break.
We needed a break, but after 4 days, I'm like, I want my baby back. I want my blonde back. I would even drive in front of the house just to see if she came back early. Like, maybe my girl's back early. Because I have that phobia. I usually, when I get off Laurel Canyon, I drive by here to make sure nobody's breaking into a house or there's a fire. So I drive by here and I come up Colfax and then I go home, And like one night I was like, maybe she came home and she's just fucking with me. Like maybe she just doesn't want me to know she's home.
That's such a crazy thought,
And I pulled up and I'm like, damn, she's
Done it
not
before.
home. I gotta wait fucking 5 more days. And then I even hit her up. I go, hey, I miss you or something. And she's like, yeah, me too or something. And that was it. It was like, wow, man. When you do a podcast with somebody, they become your family.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't picture you that way, Joey.
What do you mean?
I for some reason I have this impression of you as being like this, like
lone wolf.
Yeah, like just in your cave and like just a hardened guy. Like, you're so soft.
I'm an only child, so I kind of like it.
Yeah, me too.
When
man.
people don't understand when you're an only, and I know, like my wife, you give her a book and she'll disappear.
Yeah,
there's some people that are one-man parties, and I'm a one-man party in my head. You put a bong hit in front of me, and I forget life for an hour,
Yeah.
But I like, we all like human contact. We all like our buddies, and I don't like too much of a friend.
Yeah,
like there's people that are just too much of a friend.
Yeah.
I have a wife. I can't use that much of a friend right now. Me and Felicia are perfect.
I like that.
Because we get coffee for an hour, 30 minutes. We talk for 5 minutes. So it's kind of weird. We fit into, it's like tongue and groove. Aww. You ever put tongue and groove floor? It fits perfectly, So.
Yeah, you guys
But I
are
did
cute.
miss you, and nothing went on here.
Really? What you been up to?
Just comedy, writing, trying to get healthy,
You look good.
I went to the fucking doctor finally, and my wife's going to have a little girl. So that was a little fucked up at first, because now karma has really set in. You know what I'm saying?
It really has.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
So for a couple of weeks there, I was just fucking driving around, and people are like, "Hey, you're gonna have a baby, whatever." That's in December. Now it's getting fucking closer.
He was saying that. Oh, that's still 9 months away. Oh,
Yes,
I don't think
now
so.
it's 5 months away. And after this month's gonna be 4, and then after Thanksgiving, that's it. I'm on the slow road to fucking hell.
Yeah, dude.
Because it's either 10 days before December 2nd or 10 days. Oh no. She's having a baby either 10 days before January 2nd or 10 days before January 2nd. That's going to fuck me up the ass. And with my luck, to really fuck me, because that means my wife's birthday is on the 28th. My daughter will be somewhere in there in Christmas. You know what I'm going to be like on New Year's Eve? I'm going to have to suck dick because I'm going to be so fucking broke. You understand me? 3 birthdays and a Christmas, you're fucking
God,
done.
dude.
You're done, So that's what I'm thinking about now. But you know what? I'm done. I'm done no matter how I was telling Christine that, a guy lives till he's 74. If you go on Wikipedia, that's the average age. I did some blow. I ate some ass. You know what I'm saying?
I like that ass means the factor.
So what do you think your number is?
You got to take about 10 years. Reefer, speed, flying, eating ass, swimming in the Hudson. You got to fucking
swimming in the Hudson.
You got to fucking add,
Well, road life, too. I feel like road life ages you in dog years. Like, just writing that, being a comic. You don't
when
sleep.
you first became a comic, how you couldn't wait to go on the road.
Oh,
just that
yeah.
word.
Oh, yeah.
Just that word saying the road. Like just saying
I remember the first time I got La Jolla, I jumped up and down
Oh
on
my
my
God,
bed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And after you do it for like 6 or 7 years, you're like, the road. Like the road, especially, I was telling you in the car, I was telling you at coffee that Felicia was when I met Felicia, you could tell she was one of those comics that, you just went out every week for 2 months.
30 weeks a year.
1 minute, how many weeks?
Yeah, 30 weeks a year I traveled. Yeah.
That's a lot.
So hard. Now, I almost had a meltdown. Like, I just took a month down because I was, like, going to have a nervous breakdown because I've been going since January, like, just hard at it. And there's a point where you're like, I got nothing to say. Like, I'm not living life.
You have to be careful
So
with
I'm
it.
like, what am I fucking going to talk about? I bought some pop chips in the airport, everybody. Like, I got some new sweatpants. I got upgraded because of my status on Delta. Like, that's not life.
I know.
So what happened? Like, how was your experience?
Well, I did it for a good 10 years, like 30 weeks out of the year. And it was, it was hard. And the longest I ever did, and I know guys that did like 3 and 4 and 5 months without ever going home. But I only did, like, the longest was 10 weeks. But it was hard. It was hardcore, yeah.
Dude.
Especially in her day. And I'm not saying this in a bad... I'm saying when we got into comedy, Christina, used to be Tuesday through fucking Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Used to be Tuesday. Yeah.
That's like a Vegas
That's
week
98.
now.
And 98, 99.
That's when we
you
were
flew home
popular.
on a Monday.
Come on.
You flew home on a Monday in 98 to leave again Tuesday morning. And you hoped they didn't have radio Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
So you basically got in, did Tuesday night show, and you started radio Wednesday. So here you are flying from the East Coast, from the West Coast to the East Coast. You're already losing 3 hours. You get to your hotel room, there's no fan, something, you can't sleep 2 nights. You're dead. You can't recover that.
Yeah.
It's really...
It's like living in a fantasy, a fucked up fantasy. No, it is.
Oh, I thought like a glamorous fantasy.
No, like a fucked up fantasy. Like you always wanted it, and now you're in it, and it's fucked up, And I remember I was gone on the road so much once that when I came home, I had to write like a quick note to someone, and I forgot how to write. I was all like, I haven't been responsible for anything.
It's so funny because for years I've dreamed of headlining these clubs, and you're like, and I remember thinking to myself a month ago, like, wow, when your dreams come true, it's the most miserable thing that's ever happened to you. Like, don't ever have your dreams come true, kids.
When you realize you're in it, like you're at an airport on a fucking Sunday, and you're out of it. You only slept 3 hours, and you're thinking about your week. You're sitting at the gate, and you're like, well, I have to go home and then take a shower, and I got a spot tonight, and basically tomorrow I do laundry.
Yeah.
And the next day I'm back out again. And next week is that. I remember waking up in Miami after a 2 week, because in the early 2000s, Miami would book a feature for 2 weeks.
What?
And they had that fucking drink thing across the street, right across, like 10
The
feet
Miami
away.
Improv you're talking about?
Yeah, the Miami Improv used to be on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Where that place is in the mall, in the Cocoa Walk, and across from it were those drinks that are 140 proof. Those frozen drinks, whatever.
Yeah.
So you do 2 weeks there. By Monday, you get up and your skin was green. Between the sugar, the blow, and the not sleeping. And I remember waking up one Monday, I had to go to Buffalo for John Yoder.
Shut up,
I'll never forget waking up one Monday, and my flight was like at 1, and I woke up like at 10, looked at the clock and said, it ain't happening. Like, I'm calling Yoder, it ain't happening. He's like, you got to be there by tomorrow, Doug. I wouldn't get on a fucking plane right now if you're paid, because that's what happens eventually.
Yes.
Eventually, one day you're like, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting on this fucking plane.
Can't do it.
You just, and you think this is your dream. This is my job. But it's like anything else, I bet. It's got
it is like anything else, because I've had normal jobs, and you go through a grind in that. And yeah, I know, you just weigh it, I guess. Like the fun of being on stage and writing. Like, I get to tell shit jokes for a living. That's amazing. And it's such a blessing. But that airplane, I know what you're talking about, when you get like a repulsion where you're physically like, no. Like, I'm going to Africa tomorrow. Tom and I are going to South Africa for a comedy festival for 3 weeks. And it's like a 26-hour flight. Yeah, and I'm dreading, like...
26 hours.
It's like,
now, do you remember when you used to
I
drive
kill
to your
myself.
gigs, guys? Do you remember,
I've done
driving 10
Yeah.
hours to a gig? And you were like, I can't wait to fucking fly one day. And like the first couple times, then you got it to that level where you drove to some, but you flew to some. And you're like, this is in between. You're like, I can't wait to just fly. And now you're like, where am I going? LAX? Motherfucker. Because I hate that drive to LAX no matter what fucking time it is. No matter what fucking time it is.
Yeah.
What time did you leave for India last week?
Like
You had an early flight.
4:30 in the morning.
What time was your flight?
Like 6:10. Oh, yeah.
It's the worst.
But it's wide empty, the 405.
No.
The 405, it takes you 20 minutes to get to the airport at 4
Yeah.
in the morning.
I know.
Like, if you leave at 4 in the morning, you'll be so pissed when you get to the airport. You're like, motherfucker, this is a 20-minute fucking drive.
I know.
What was your worst experience ever at an airport?
Oh, fuck. I think the worst thing that's ever happened to me is getting stuck in Detroit. You guys been stuck in Detroit ever? Because of weather?
Yeah.
And my favorite is, like, so you miss your connection because you're snowed in, and then you have to, like, hang out in Detroit for the night, and they put you at that shitty, whatever shit motel that's, like, within shuttle distance, and you sleep on, like, a dirty bedspread, and then you get up at 4, and then you go back. That's my worst. That's, for some reason, Detroit really fucking, like, I've been so depressed in Detroit airport. You know, when you're like, the only thing I can do right now is just eat a bag of barbecue chips and just throw hate darts at everybody with my eyes, you know, like, that's, I don't know why, but Detroit's like a vortex of shit for me.
Wow.
What's yours?
Well, here's the thing. I hate flying. I hate flying. And opened for Howie Mandel on the road in the Wayback Machine. And so at the time, my ex-husband, who was booking me, said to one of Howie's guys, you know, because Howie's a big practical joker, don't do airplane jokes to Felicia because she's really nervous for flying. Like, I get really nervous. I have periods where I get really nervous.
Really?
Absolutely. And so I was working somewhere in, I think, Wisconsin or something, or I was supposed to meet him in Wisconsin at a theater, and then we were going to fly. He had a private jet. And so I'm sitting in I flew in a public thing into Wisconsin, and I'm sitting in the green room backstage at this theater, and so this young guy comes in, and he's about 22, and he has an eye patch on, and he introduces himself. He's like, I'm the pilot. And I'm like, what? What? You know what I mean? But I'm trying to contain, you know, like, oh, what the fuck did I get into, right? And then Howie came in, and they were all joking around, like, you know, how it was really cool. Thanks, dude, for letting me fly the plane a little bit on our way over here. And I was like, what? What?
Oh,
right? Like, I was fucking freaking out. And then we do the gig, and we get on the plane. I have my luggage, and we get on the little plane, and then they're sitting there. We went and got Subway, and it was like a private plane, like it's a little Learjet, you know. And you're like, wow, that's the next step from, you know, just regular flying. I can't wait to have my own private Learjet, right? So it's a fucked up fantasy. So you're in the middle of it. We went and got Subway, and they start taxiing, and Howie's like, okay, you said I could learn how to take off this time, right? And he gets off, and he starts going to thing. And I'm like, no, I can't contain it. And it was all a big fucking joke. It was all a big fucking joke.
I hate Howie Mandel.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I have a better story. Sorry,
Okay.
I can't believe I forgot this. I did military gigs in Africa, in Djibouti, in August, like in 2008, and it was 140 degrees. It was the fucking grossest thing ever. And so, they take care of you. There's some point person on the base. And so it's the last day, and they're like, all right, we're going to take you to the airport. And I'm like, you're going to stay with us, right? This point person. And he's like, nah, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. Just don't worry about it. They see Americans all the time. And I'm like, all right, cool. I can't wait to get the fuck out of Djibouti.
Yeah.
This sucks. It sucks so bad there. And so we're starting to go through customs. We go to give our passport to the customs agent, this skinny little, you know, black Djiboutian. And he looks at our papers, and he just shakes his head no, and shoos me and these other two comics away. Just no, and then go away. And I'm like, what do you mean no, go away? I got to get on that fucking plane. And no one speaks English because we're in fucking Djibouti.
Right.
And so we keep trying to get the line. Again, the Djiboutian shakes his head, no, shoos us away. So we're panicked. Our point person's gone. We're panicking, trying to find anybody who speaks English. We finally find some guys that do. And they take us into a little room and look at our paperwork, stare us down. It's hot as balls. I'm just nervous as shit. Like a white, beautiful woman like me with blonde hair in Africa. Like, I'm going to
get it, sister.
Yeah, I'm going to get sold into sexual slavery. And the guy goes, he just looks at us and he goes, $40. And I was like, yeah, here's 80, motherfucker. Like, get me out of here. And the girl I'm with was cheap and was like, I'm not giving you 40. I'm like, fucking give him everything in our wallets. Let's get out of here. So that's all they wanted was a nice little bribe.
Yeah. Don't you hate bitches like
split.
that?
Oh,
you
no.
hate women like that?
Just give
I
them the
fucking
money.
hate women like that.
I
It's
do
so
too.
annoying.
Don't be. Now is not the time to
Yeah.
be cheap. Like when
Yeah.
you're in a foreign country and you're just trying to get the fuck out.
That happened to me once in a weird way in Tijuana. Sorry, I'm so chatty, Joey.
Oof.
But when I was in Tijuana, I was on a photo trip with these bunch of these girls, and so we're one of these girls. She was younger, and she was very pretty, and we are photographing all over. And she starts photographing children, and I'm like, I don't like to photograph children unless a parent is there, and I eyeball the parent like, is this cool? And she's doing it, and I couldn't get her to go, and I'm like, let's go. And it was in a really bad part of Tijuana, and a police car comes up, and he's like, what are you guys doing? And then he was doing a thing like, I want a bribe, and she's like, I'm not gonna give you no bribe. And I was all like, give this motherfucker a bribe. Give him your checkbook.
Yeah.
Give him your fucking checkbook.
How much?
Yeah, and he had like one nod off ear. I swear to God.
Yeah.
So then he can't tolerate her stuff, and he puts us in the back. And it was when I first had a cell phone, and my ex-husband was so pissed that I even went, and I didn't get reception the whole time. But then all of a sudden, I looked at my phone and had reception, and I didn't call my husband because I was so afraid he'd flip out. So I called my best friend, and I'm like, don't be alarmed. Like real quiet in the back. He keeps looking up in the mirror. I'm like, don't be alarmed, but I'm in a car, blah, 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 blah. And then we went to this jail on the outskirts of town, and we got put in a cell with other people, and they tried to take our money. And then they released us.
Fuck you bitches. That's why I leave this fucking country. That's why I wouldn't go anywhere else. I don't give a fuck for those simple fucking reasons. People are like, you don't have a passport. I don't give a fuck. That works out for me. It's like not being able to vote because I got felonies. Who wants to pick a fucking candidate this fucking year? It's the same thing. I hate all that. Like, I would die. I would fuck. Like, I went to Jamaica a couple of years ago, and I just died landing. Like, looking at all those fucking people and getting in the car and these skinny chickens. And when we were shooting the movie, was a nudist resort. And, you know, when you go to a nudist
Sandals?
place, I don't know what the
In
fuck
Jamaica,
it is.
I've been there. Yeah.
Is it good?
I went there for like one night because I was shooting something in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It's creepy.
It's gross, yeah.
Listen, nobody in the
Aggressive.
nudist camp is... Anybody who wants to show you themselves ain't that fucking good looking like that, okay? Only in Playboy and they pay them bitches. I'm talking about just somebody that say, I love nudity. It's great. It's a fat chick with a fucking tattoo of a parrot on her fucking ankle. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to detract you. I got a parrot on my calf. I'm not really fat. You're 400 pounds with flapjack fucking titties.
That parrot ain't gonna fly you nowhere.
And here's where it gets even worse. They had a buffet. And everybody was eating naked.
Oh,
naked.
Felicia,
Naked. I fucking took a cab for $40.
Wow.
No.
They have to have a top sneeze guard and a bottom sneeze guard.
People are walking up, and I mean, the women were gross, and the guys were older guys
So
with
gross.
glasses, balls,
Oh, really?
pot bellies, looked like me
Now,
naked.
but did you see the S&M people? Because
I
like
didn't
the
even
buffet.
fucking wait. I got fired. from the movie.
did?
Oh yeah, I got fired. I told
What
them.
movie is this?
This was a stupid fucking movie that. This is one of the crazy. This is why I don't really like SAG that much because this was the when I tell you guys are gonna look at me and go, Joey, no way. A strip club owner in D.C. was in love with one of the dancers, so she said, I'll sleep with you if you shoot a movie and I want to be an actress. This motherfucker went to a bank, got all his buddies,
That's a professional vagina
and got
right
$500,000
there.
up
Wow.
to shoot this fucking movie, and she wanted it in Jamaica. So this is the crazy. They got Fat James, God rest his soul. George Jefferson, God rest his soul. Oh, yeah. The chick from the only black chick on Baywatch. That fucking Momo that came out. She 1 year. She thought she was really bad. People forgot that dummy.
Yeah.
So that was the
They
thing.
did.
And it was me and Fat James. There's two fat New Yorkers that ate tacos and farted. They wouldn't give us the script till we got down there. It was one of those fucking deals. Like everything was a by the way. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. It was like till December 24th. And they weren't going to pay us till the 1st anyway. So I need the money for Christmas.
Yeah.
What do I give a fuck about the 1st? The 1st, no, you Jupiter for me. I got New Year's Eve. So I didn't really want to go. So I get down there, and then the first thing I go is I go, where's my per diem? And they go, oh, no, there's no per diem on there. I'm SAG, bitch. Then they put me in a hotel with another camera guy. And I'm like, guys, I'm SAG. And finally they knew that I wasn't fucking around. They came to me like, we decided we're going to let you go. Yeah, you're going to let me fucking go. I came home. Next time I sued the guys. And then SAG, the pieces of shit that they were, I kept saying, where's my money? And SAG, I got the bill. SAG billed him for $40,000 for late fees and shit. That's SAG.
Wow.
Finally, I called the guy on my own. I go, hey, bro, what do we need? Because he couldn't release the movie until he paid everybody. So he was in a bind. So I said, I'm not looking to rob you. All I'm looking is for my 2 weeks that you promised me. You fucked me. Mail it, and that motherfucker put it right in my Bank of America account the next day, and I dropped the charges on him. But SAG was banging them out for $10,000. All I needed was like $1,500. Why are you banging these guys out for that shit? But that was horrible. The milk and the chickens. I remember looking at the milk and for breakfast on my cereal. I didn't eat.
Yeah.
I didn't eat
dog.
too.
I'm one of those
You have
motherfuckers.
to be careful like that.
I'm one of those dudes. That's why I don't want to go overseas, really. Like, I want to, but I get skeeved out. I get skeeved, bro.
I went to Afghanistan.
Oh. Yeah, I can't smell hummus. I can't smell nothing. But I can't smell curry. I can't smell Thai food. You ever see me around Thai food, bro? You'll never see me sweat.
Can I tell you something though? When I got off the plane in Africa, we landed in Ethiopia. I don't know if you've been to I'm sure you've been to third world. You know when you get off the plane and you're like, what is that smell? Is there a barbecue? Is someone barbecuing? And you're like, oh no, that's the smell of third world country. That's like trash being burned and people dying and awful. And yeah, it's a very distinct sweet curry type smell. But can I tell you something? I was thinking about what you were saying, that woman manipulated that guy. I don't know if you have that ability, Felicia, but I kind of flog myself. Why the fuck didn't I do that to dudes? I'm so stupid. I should have fucking manipulated more people.
I had that ability, but it always backfired on me. That was my thing.
Okay,
You know what I mean? I had wielded it about 2 or 3 times, but not for very big things. And then it always ended up with someone trying to take me to court. You know what I mean? So I was like, by the time I was 22, so I was like, yeah, this is just not my destiny.
The girl I left Boulder over was an exotic dancer. But guys, she is 44 now. She's a millionaire, and she still dances in Tampa. Okay, this is her life. And she knows all the moves, and she knows all the scams, and dog, I couldn't believe it when she tell me things. I couldn't believe it. I could never do it, even if I had millions, just for sake. I could never do something like that. Guys are crazy.
Well,
man.
especially strippers, because their whole objective is to manipulate. They hate guys, I think, for the most part, right? So the whole idea is to manipulate dudes to get the money and to get what they want.
They don't
right?
hate guys. Some
You don't
of them
think
hate
so?
guys. I think they're just like, opportunity has
You ever go into a
arisen.
fucking black strip club? You ever go into a
No.
black strip club? Have you ever heard black strippers talk?
No.
They will take your fucking legs and arms if you let them. Black strippers will take your legs and fucking arms if you let them. If you go to that girl, how do I know?
Right.
Because she danced in Basalt at a black club. That's how crazy this girl was I dated. She was crazy. She was in it for the fucking loot.
Yeah.
They would roll people. I remember one day she came home and she's like, some guy offered me $60 to lick my asshole, a truck driver.
$60?
$60.
Would you do it for 60?
Fuck no. I'm very protective of my asshole.
And she goes, this is exactly what she told me. I said, did you let him? And she goes, no, I didn't want coffee breath in my ass. That was her mentality. She was crazy.
Yeah.
I talked to her maybe last week because my friend was playing the Tampa Improv and she's friends with him. So I called her up. I go, hey, go see him. And she was in the middle of a lap dance when she answered the fucking phone.
Yeah.
She was talking to the guy and talking to me. And she's like, no, baby, just put it in my jet. And I'm laughing on the fucking phone because that's her.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Hey, listen, man, there's guys out there, there's girls out there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's people,
And
you ever look at a movie and you go, how did this fucking movie get made? And there's by the way, they let the guy's daughter in the movie to play the bad actress, so the guy financed the whole thing. That goes on a lot in this fucking time.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had a meeting a year ago, parents from Beverly Hills. Took them out to lunch and said, here's the deal. What would it take for you to write a script to make my 2 twins millionaires? She had gone everywhere. Yeah, she had gone everywhere. The mother went to all the big agencies and said, I need the best writer here. I want to make my daughters a fucking star.
Jeez.
So, it works at every fucking level, guys. Mom goes in there, throws $10 million down and goes, I want my daughters to be stars. Write a fucking script for these 2 little bitches.
It's so crazy to me that's a possibility. My parents are immigrants. My dad's a forklift mechanic. I grew up here in the valley.
You grew up in the valley?
Yeah, I grew up
Isn't
here.
that weird?
did?
Yeah.
I
That's
would totally
amazing.
peg you for North Dakota, Wisconsin.
I had it in New Jersey. I was like, I thought
Oh, really?
I don't know why that is. I don't know. Probably because I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the foreigner in me. Like, because I never felt at home here. Like, this didn't feel right either. The valley growing up here, I was always a space alien because everybody was richer than me and, like, had the right genes. And I just never I never jumped.
What part of the valley?
Everywhere, like Tarzana, Encino, Woodland Hills, West Hills, Canoga Park, Van Nuys. Like, because my parents split, so then I would bounce between them, you know?
You would?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've seen this place kind of go up and down. And
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Sherman Oaks CES, and then I got kicked out in the middle of 9th grade because I decided not to go anymore. I was like, I don't like school.
So what'd you do when you didn't go?
I ditched a lot. I did a lot of drugs. It's when I started early, so I
Yeah, what kind of drugs?
Oh, I loved pot. I loved acid.
Really? You
Yeah.
were that girl?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
was a
god,
goth
she's like
girl.
Michelle. Our friend Michelle.
Do you smoke? You have acid in your pocket?
I got mushrooms.
Oh my, in his pocket. He
These are
whipped it
fucking
out.
tremendous. My dear friend gave me these. Let's pass
me
them around.
see,
Oh
okay.
yeah. I heard these are fucking badass
Really?
too. I heard
God.
this little cap will be off and run. Why don't we just eat a cap and come back on an hour?
Oh my god, I don't. I got a pack.
Oh yeah, Felicia Michaels.
When
That's
did you start doing drugs and stuff, Joey? Like,
when I was 13. What
Yeah,
a
me
fucking
too.
mistake that was.
no. But I stopped. By the time I was in college,
We'll take
I
that
was
for the
done.
baby shower. Me and you. Everybody else.
I gotta throw my first baby shower. I'm throwing Joey's baby shower for his wife, Sherry. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, my little.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna be the godmother.
She's gonna be the godmother. I stopped and made an appointment with the church the other day to see what my requirements are
Yeah.
for my godparents and shit.
Hope I don't have to take a test.
No. I told you, you might have to suck dick for 30 days. The priest might tell you no sucking dick for 30 days.
Is
You gotta
that
stick.
right?
Yeah.
You gotta stick to it.
Titty fucking still in.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. You know, I'm still friends with this girl that dances, and we talk from time to time. She'll call me with like a strange joke because she's got a sense of humor, you know. And since I was with her a long time, she'll tell me little things. She was telling me about this guy she had in Michigan that would fly her and her girlfriend out. Didn't want to fuck him. All he wanted to do was to see the one girl eat my ex-girlfriend's ass.
Wow.
And he would stand there and jerk off. And he would pay them $5,000 a piece.
Oh, come
Put
on.
him in a hotel
God damn it.
and fly him in. And you know my ex, she's like, you gotta fly me in first class, bitch. Because she's a first class type of bitch. Seriously. And he would do that twice a month.
Oh,
From Florida.
I am such a sucker.
Then she
I
married-
fucking hate
Then
myself.
she married this Hindu. He was such a Hindu. He smelled like a fucking lottery ticket. That's how much he had. Like 19 of those. He had about 19 of those
day
lottery
lottery
stores.
ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. She married him right like a month before he died. She
son
pulled
of a
Anna Nicole
bitch.
Smith. She got him for like $2 million. Then she didn't have no kids with him. She had kids with this Greek drug dealer that was crazy. Brought her out here, was looking for blow, went to El Compadre one night, gave a guy like $5,000, said, give me a bag of blow. The guy gave him a bag and said, don't open it till you get in the car. It was like fucking tequila sugar, like to put in the fucking, the guy's an idiot. The guy was coked up in Miami and he hit a cop. A cop was trying to tell him to stop and he ran over the fucking cop. So he had to
Oh
leave
my
the country.
God,
As soon as he
dude.
got on the fucking plane, Carol cleaned out his fucking safety deposit box, fucking everything. Because she's a predator, bro. She's a financial, sexual predator. I mean,
How do you get that way? Because I work and I hate it.
She grew up in miserable fucking surroundings, and
Oh,
she
that's
just
what it is.
plays the game. And now the guy keeps calling her saying, "Where's my money from Greece?" And she just hangs up on the guy. You ain't seen the kids.
Oh, I bet, because everything's going down
Everything's
in Greece.
gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Forget
God.
that.
So he can't come back because he's got like attempted murder on a police officer.
Oh, really?
He ran over the
Yeah.
motherfucker, dragged him and shit.
She better be aware of
Yeah,
any of his
she's crazy.
relatives. That's all I gotta say.
I looked at her picture on
kidding.
Facebook the other day, and she doesn't look bad. But just the thought that she's probably got a couple million in the bank. She bought one of those chains of weightlifting for girls 10 years ago.
Curves?
She
What?
owned.
She bought
She
curves.
bought.
Oh,
like
she
6
bought
in
curves?
Michigan.
Oh, she
good
did?
luck.
She rolled them over. Oh, way before the bottom fell out. She rolled them over. She's one of those fucking
Yeah,
freaks.
yeah.
She has houses in Michigan.
So it's just
Florida.
a complete coinkydink that she's,
a-
financially savvy and
Don't-
a fucking sexual,
But think about it. She could be Trump.
Such a good
She
skill.
could be
Oh
like
no,
a Trump.
yeah, I'm
Doesn't
telling
really
you,
matter.
and
She's a
it's
stripper.
not a
That's
judgment.
the shit that I
This
keep
is
doing, you
it's
know?
a complete
It's a
coincidence
business.
that
She's
she
a
has those two
corporation.
skills. Like
Yeah.
me, I can make a perfect pancake and give us a slightly decent hand job.
There you
Coincidence.
go.
Coincidence.
It's really amazing the power of a woman. And if you've ever been under the power of a woman, like I fell under the ether maybe twice. I fell under the ether in the 6th grade over pussy that got me left back. That's when you know the pussy got you left back. That's fucked up.
Wow.
And I promise never to get under that ether again. But I understand it when a man is under a woman's ether. And a woman knows it.
understand that.
And a
Yeah,
cool,
so do
listen,
I.
a cool woman likes a guy. But there's a lot of women out there that they don't even give a fuck if the guy's ugly, glasses, fat, he looks
that's
like
what
me.
bums me
And they
out.
take all his money. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't like
that. to
that.
me, because you're fucking with somebody's feelings and somebody's
Yes.
emotions. But you know what, dog? As far as I'm concerned, like I tried to put it in my head one time for my friend.
I don't think you get any sympathy because you're ugly or overweight or bald.
I'm
you
just
know?
saying, you know, when you ever walk in,
think you get to play the sympathy card.
when you see my girlfriend, when you see my wife, and you look at me, you're like, something's going on there. Either Joey's got a lot of fucking money, or he's just a funny fucking guy. Because my wife is good looking, you know, for a regular.
Yeah, when I first met her, I did have that thought.
But when, oh, he's got a really big dick. But you know when you see a fucking girl with a guy and what she's there for. You motherfuckers
Yeah.
pick it out first. You're the
Yeah.
motherfuckers that pick it out first. Don't look at me like I'm the bad guy, because usually I miss it. I miss that and all the gay guys. You're the motherfuckers that go, that guy's gay. That chick is doing this. You guys pick it up. But finally, when I get to it, I feel fucking bad. You feel bad.
Well, no, that's why I can't do it. Like I'm saying, I wish I had the scruples to use people and to do that shit. Like honestly, because my mother was kind of like that. Like she married my stepdad, who was a criminal. He's an Indian guy, and they met in the back of like a singles ad, like back in the day, like old school. Like my mother put an ad out, and it was like buxom European woman looking for, you know, marriage and well-off
She
Indian men.
did?
Yeah, she loved Indian guys. So he sends us a photograph. I know it's so fucking weird. I know it's like not. It's
Now,
very.
where's your
bizarre.
mother from?
My mother's Hungarian. Both my parents are from Hungary. They
Wow.
escaped from Hungary in like '69 to Canada, and then I was born there, and then we moved to LA in 1980. So okay, so we fucking get all these like bags of letters from Indian guys, because what Indian guy doesn't want like a buxom blonde European lady, right? And the winner of this contest was my future stepdad. It was a picture of him in an Armani suit next to his convertible, holding like his old school cell phone. You know, back then it was like a box.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was it. And then a month later they got married, and we moved out of our crappy apartment in Tarzana, our little shitty 1-bedroom apartment, and we were living in West Hills in some nice big house. And then 5 years later the IRS came knocking because somebody didn't pay taxes for 10 years being my stepdad.
How old
So-
were you at that point?
I was like 17, so I was
Oh,
ready to
so
go to
that
college.
was all right. You know,
Yeah.
you were ready to get the fuck out
I was
of there.
so happy to get the fuck out
Yeah.
of there. Yeah, it was a lot of chaos. Like, he had
Yeah.
his windshield shot out. And,
really?
like, you know, we would go for ice cream. We'd be, like, on the way to get ice cream. And he's like, hold on a second. And he would get out of the car. And then, like, he would have a knife in his pocket. And he would stab some guy's tires. And then get back in the car. And then we'd go get pistachio ice cream.
And this is the Indian guy.
This is the Indian guy, my Indian stepdad. But I never put it together that he was a criminal for many years, because you just grow up in that. You're like, oh, well, this must be how we get our money. Like,
Did you ever watch the Royal Tenenbaums?
I love
You must
that.
have
I love
fucking
that.
peed your pants when he stabbed them, right?
I love that.
Pagoda, that's my stepdad. I love that movie. Yeah, yeah, no
Wow.
shit. Yeah. So that's why I haven't. Like, I feel bad for guys who get kind of taken by like beautiful, buxom European ladies. You know, I have a soft spot for that. I hate
When
it.
I first started comedy in Denver, like I'd never really been. I'd been in a strip club, but it wasn't really a strip club when I was a kid. It was just a fucking pandemonium in Jersey. I had never seen the dynamics of a strip club till I went to Colorado. And after the Comedy Works, there was a club, the Diamond
Oh
Club.
yeah.
The Diamond Club opened up as a fucking high-level steak, caviar
Oh, yeah,
strip club in
yeah.
Colorado. To the point
Yeah.
was that in 1994 they were paying a feature act $200. They got ripped off by, I think Judy Brown put them together. They were doing comedy there on Wednesdays. at
Judy
this
Brown
place.
Marmel.
Judy Brown was fucking running the Diamond Cabaret. That's the name of it, the Diamond Cabaret. She was booking comics on Wednesdays. It was either her or the chick from Denver, and they were flying them in there. And I think Denver had the contract 2 months, and then she would fly them in on fucking Wednesdays to a strip club. That's how much money they had. And I remember sitting there and looking at guys and going, wow, you know, I mean, what's the difference here than what I do?
Yeah.
You know, as a criminal, what? These are, I don't feel bad for a guy in a strip club. I've gotten taken at a strip club. It's, you know,
Oh, it's
and
fair game.
It's
fair
what?
game.
It's
yeah.
what?
Fair game. If you set your foot
in
into
the-
a strip club,
yeah.
you're in. You're in. You understand the rules.
That's what. But I'm saying marrying somebody and then stealing their money, that kind of shit bums me out. Like that's fucking not cool. But the strip club, yes, I agree.
It's funny because you were
up.
saying that earlier. You were saying that these girls talk dirty to your son. I remember being 13 and walking in New York City, like playing hooky and walking in New York City on Broadway, Felicia, 13, 12.
Yeah.
And they used to have, not strip clubs, strip clubs, and there'd be a guy in front with a tuxedo in New York, like early, like 11 in the morning. And he'd go, hey, little guys, you guys want to see some naked women? We're like, yeah. He's like, how much money you got? I don't know, come on in. And you went in and you went to the bar. I'll never forget this, going to the bar and like, shut up, don't say nothing. You think they'll know we're 13? No, we don't. They don't know we're 13. Fuck it. What are you drinking? Like a Scotch tonic? You know, like don't say nothing. Just drink the fucking thing. I don't have enough for a drink. Shut up, bitch. And all of a sudden the chick comes and sits next to you and she's like, what are you drinking? I'll have a little champagne. And all of a sudden the bill comes. It's $82. I'm like, I need my money back. I only got like 11, dog. I remember that happening to me. Like in New York, they would fucking bring you in there. Well, you better call somebody because you can't leave. And I go, bitch, we're fucking 14. How about we go outside and call a cop? Let us out here and give me my fucking money back. You little motherfuckers, don't come back here again. But even then, I'd see like what was going on. It was amazing how they tricked us. It was fucking amazing. But you guys want to go in the back? You have to buy me a bottle of champagne first. It's just a little bottle. What? $80 fucking dollars. But that Diamond Cabaret, when I went there, you know, there's always the guys like, oh, we're not here for women. We don't want lap dances. We're here to discuss business. Really? You could? What? Starbucks was closed.
Yeah.
Denny's was closed. Everybody, all the other fucking people at Starbucks selling fucking toilet paper. What's that shit they sell online? What's that shit? The company that pyramid shit, you know? But these guys are
pyramid.
You know what's those pyramid scans? What's that shit that sells shampoo and Amplo? Whatever the fuck.
Amway.
Amway. You know, they'd be there selling Amway like
Yeah.
a business off. We don't really want to talk to the girls. You know, we're not here for business. They'd be there with the $80.
That's why a vagina looks like a pyramid.
Yeah.
You are warned when you get in.
You know what though? I remember being like, when I grew up here in the Valley, like 13 is when I was like, I'm gonna get a fake ID. I'm gonna go to Hollywood.
Fuck yeah.
And that's when you do use, like, I used to buy cigarettes down on Ventura Boulevard because I had big titties. By the time I was 13, I would go down in my bikini top and like go-go boots. I don't know what this outfit was, and a skirt, just because I knew that I had big titties and that guy would give me cigarettes. You know, I was clearly a 13-year-old girl. He never carded me. And that's also how I got a fake ID. You go down to Alvarado and you hand the guy some paperwork, and then you got a nice fake ID.
Wow.
You go to all these clubs out in Hollywood.
So you do have it in you.
I do as a 13, just for cigarettes, maybe. Yeah.
Just for
and
cigarettes?
fake IDs. And
It doesn't
shit
matter
like
what you do it for. You're still.
No, wait a
I
second.
guess I'm a hoe. Oh my God, I'm a stripper hoe.
Doesn't
When you would
matter.
go to Alvarado, you would go to that park on Alvarado?
Yeah.
Because that's what I heard.
Yeah.
My buddy took me there one day. He's like, dog, on this strip right here, you get anything you
Get
want.
anything
right
you
by
want.
Cantor's. No, Langers.
Right,
Right
yeah.
by Langers,
There's
right
like
across
that
the street from
MacArthur
Langers.
Park.
MacArthur Park,
And that's
yeah.
where all the zombies are. Like, if you want crack or you want whatever, like, you just have to park kind of next to the park with your car, and then the zombies come out and they swarm your car, and whatever you need is, you know, they're
Right there
for
in
that.
Alvarado. Is that true?
Yeah.
You get passports there and shit, fake IDs. That's like for us, we had to go to New York City, and they had a bunch of little places, but then they had like 3 places that were real deal. Then there was a guy in the Bronx, Tony the Baker. He had a bakery, and he would give you an ID, a social security card, and a registration for your car for $500 flat. That's a fucking
That's
gift
a
in
deal.
those days.
Oh,
But
shit.
when you're a kid, you can't. He would give you an insurance card for your car that the cops could check out, and it was clean. This was for years.
Wow.
Wow.
It's amazing. Like,
Well, my stepdad changed my birth certificate
yeah.
so that I could work a year earlier. I was only 15. Wait, I was 14.
He was like, them are some big titties. You got to get out, girl.
I wanted to work in a telemarketing place when I was 14. You have to work at 15. It's legal in California. So he fucking changed my birth certificate. To this day, I'm a year older. But you can't. I feel like you can't do that shit now because everything's all electronic.
Oh,
and
you
like,
can't, because even if you have a baby, you gotta go down at a certain time and get them their social security number. Like I have a really old social security number compared to all my friends my age because I got one because I grew up on welfare, and when you went on the system, you had to get a social security number, and now when you have a kid, it's like you have to jump through some hoops. You have to go down there and wait. Before you didn't have to.
You see somebody, you were away, somebody tried to rob a baby from the hospital.
Oh, I saw that.
And they put a bracelet on the babies now,
Yeah.
which fucking
my
genius. I never
God.
thought of that. Like, you know, anybody could just walk in a nurse's suit, but they have like little probation braces. Let me tell you something. I used
Probation
to
braces.
be. Yeah, it's like a home.
Welcome to the world. You're on
I'm gonna tell you
probation.
something, guys. I was the king.
Yeah.
When I was young, I was the king of forgeries. I wasn't good at forging, but I knew where to take shit too. And I tell you, 20 years ago, I'd get you whatever the fuck you want. Now it's fucking gotta be bad. I mean, I never even tested for my driver's license jersey. My friend's father had a friend who had a driving school. And he's like, dog, you need a driving? Yeah, I'll call the guy. Just have $100 from him. Just gave him $100. Here's your license. There was no test, and that's what I was telling Felicia for years. I couldn't pass a driving test. I hate taking driving tests.
The worst.
It took me like 3 times to pass this LA one.
I know. I did it in
serious?
Sherman Oaks. Wait, no, Van Nuys. At the Van Nuys DMV when I was 16. And there's so much traffic on Sherman Way and everything. It's almost impossible.
One time, though, how I got my license in Colorado was really weird because I kept failing the test. I lived in Aspen at the time, and you had to go down to Glenwood Springs. I kept failing the fucking test. So they kept telling me, go to this little house, but the guy's a scumbag. And even that time I walked in there, I'm like, I'm not going to get my fucking license. This guy's going to fail me. There was no computer then. Now you have a computer, they put the piece of paper in, and you just hit it. Then you had to do like the fucking X's.
Yeah.
And I remember failing, and the guy was talking to me in the middle of me talking to the guy's telling me how, in other words, how stupid I was. Like he was telling me, some guy just budges in and goes, hey, I want to take my driving test. The guy goes, you have to wait a second, I'm with him. And the guy goes, hey, everybody told me not to come see you because you were an asshole. And these 2 guys got up and they were ready to fight. This guy was like, and I got in between them, and I told the guy, get the fuck out of here before I fuck you up, motherfucker. Because I just wanted my license, and the guy bought it. The guy was like, thank you for helping me out, man. You're not really as stupid as I thought and all this shit. He took me for a ride, and they gave me my fucking license.
Wow.
But I never took a driving test. I didn't know how to fucking take a driving test. I failed here. I even failed the driving test. I even fucking failed, Felicia. I forgot.
Are you serious?
My wife wouldn't talk to me for like 3 days. I did something wrong. You driving for years, they want you to do it fucking legitimately.
So stupid.
I've been doing 90 on the 101
you
for
can't
10
look
years.
your wife in the eye after that, right?
Nah, it's tough. How do you fucking tell somebody you failed your driving test? How stupid am I? I failed my driving.
I know.
In Seattle, I took my test like 4 fucking times. I don't even know. But in the old days, my friends would pay people to go in. Bro,
in for you?
Listen, in New Jersey, they had no pictures on your licenses.
Get out of
when
town.
I was growing up. So all you had to do was have an older brother, clip his license. He'd get the new one in the mail, and you went out. All they would ask you was, what sign are you? You had to know what sign you were. That's it on the date.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I had a friend at the fucking inspection station that you would come to me and say, Joey, I can't pass my inspection. Give me $50. Let's go down there. You wrap it up, and as soon as he come out, I put it in his hand, take care of him. I had everything when I was growing up in Jersey.
Why are you such a criminal? Like, are you from immigrant parents? Because immigrants are like that too.
That's just the way that system was.
Oh.
When I grew up, if you wanted cable TV, I knew a guy to come to your house for $200 for life. You got the box, you got all the dirty channels, you could see Mars, you could see whatever the fuck. That's just the way life is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you wanted like now, you can't, I never flew under my name.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why would
when
you
I
fly
was
under your
even
fucking
up
name?
until before 9/11, I would had these agents and managers, and they used this guy who everyone used him, and they used this guy who had this office by the airport, and you would just say, yeah, I need to fly to so and so on Tuesday, and you would show up at his office. He would drive you to the airport. He would check you in. He would give you the ticket. And that was it. And you might have paid like $50 extra or something like that.
Right.
And then someone who was kind of like, I want to say an old comedian, Alan something, an older comedian, he did it and someone recognized him. Alan King, I don't know if it was Alan King, but it was like someone like that. And someone recognized him, and then that scam went away,
But I don't understand. Sorry, I'm stupid here. Like, what's the utility in not flying under your name?
Just you don't want nobody
because you didn't have to pay. You
Oh,
didn't have
right.
to pay if you needed to go lickety split. You didn't have to wait the 3 weeks to get the good deal. He would give you the ticket for that price. Yeah,
I gotcha.
And with comedy and people
Yes.
traveling in the
Yeah,
entertainment business, like that's how. And he would get you into first class a lot. That's how he would do that kind of hookup.
I like that.
Yeah, I know.
I wish that guy was still around.
I know. Don't you guys miss scams though?
Yes.
Don't
You like books?
I'm a huge book nerd.
Do me a favor.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. No, fuck you and your fucking books, lady.
No, I like books, and the reason why I'm talking about it is because if you like books, Go to audiblepodcast.com
Oh, I love that.
/BADB and get your free Audible fucking download. That's it. It's plain and simple. So if you like Snow White,
best.
Beauty and the Beast, fucking 49 Shades of Grey with a finger up your ass, go to audible.com / what is it, Felicia Michael?
BADB.
Go to audiblepodcast.com /BADB and get your free download right now, cocksuckers. I talk to a kid on Facebook now to this day. Gregory, I love him with all my heart. His mother, when you were a kid, all you had to do was go to their house and say, I want this microphone, write it down. Go to the house, exactly what you wanted. How you doing, Mrs. Whatever? I want that TV, give her the numbers. And you tell her, she look at you and say, this is brand new, it's $1,200. Come by tonight at 6. I need $600 cash, or you can't take it home. Everything, corduroy, sneakers, cameras, fucking anything, bazookas, anything you needed. Because in those days, I was a big credit card guy. See, you're young. In the old days, if you scored under $50 on a credit card, they wouldn't run it. They put the card down and went like this and gave you your card back.
Carbon copy.
So they would call under the $50 limit. That's what you were. You were under the $50 criminal. So I would have cards that were reported stolen on because I would go to eat with those, lunch with you. Let's go to Chinese lunch. It's $12. They're not going to run it. Wow. So they had a booklet. You think at lunch, Chinese people are going to open up this fucking booklet and look for your number and your card? There was 1,000 scams in this country. They all got taken away that were covered by insurance. You weren't robbing somebody. You were robbing insurance. I had a friend in New York that whenever he made a credit card at a bank, he'd print 2 of them. So Felicia would get her credit card, and then you would get Felicia's credit card. You would sign it, she'd activate it, and it'd be like nothing. But you had it for a month. So the guy at the bank was cutting the fucking credit card. That's how illegitimate it was. It wasn't that some fucking foreigner on the corner in Alvarado made copies. This is a guy at the bank.
It's real.
Because everybody was getting an envelope. That's why,
it's so much easier to do crime back in the day, I feel like.
If you were broke, like right now, if I was a comic back in the day, I wouldn't have to be going through this torture, coming over here and seeing Felicia doing a podcast. I'd get a fucking 100 Quaaludes or 100 hits of acid. 100 hits of acid with $90. You could sell 100 hits in 3 days. That's $300. 300 hits a week. You don't have to leave your house. You're making $900.
That's the best.
In high school, I used to sell mescaline. 50 cents a piece. You sell for $3. You sell 100 of those in 3 days. That's $200 fucking when you're a sophomore. Are you fucking kidding me? You're hustling. There's no more hustlers left in this country. What the biggest hustle is now? Stealing airbags out of a fucking car. So I gotta go in a car, break the alarm system, and steal fucking 2 airbags. That's the biggest hustle now. And fuel, taxing fuel and shit. But I'm talking just for regular people to make a living like the old days. You can't make a living no more, Felicia.
I'm super bummed I never got to try Quaaludes because we learned about them in the DARE program, the drug abuse resistance education that they gave you in 7th grade, which only taught me which drugs I wanted to take once I was older, And by the time I got around, Quaaludes didn't exist anymore. Couldn't find them.
They used to be legitimate.
I never did stuff like that.
No pills?
No, I was too afraid. I don't like pills. Because my mom was an addict on pills, and because she was handicapped, and doctors back then were bad. So I'm not a pill person. I don't like. I think they make me nervous.
Yeah. I like a good Quaalude. A good Quaalude was very good. I'm talking about like all these pills people are on now are fucked up, like Valiums and all that shit. That'll fuck you up. But a good Quaalude, and Quaaludes were legit, Quaaludes were made by a pharmaceutical company named Rora. And they were legit, but then people started making bootlegs at the house. And the problem with the bootlegs was that not every pill had the same strength. So you might take 2 pills and they'd be a dud, but that third one had the power for those 3 of them. So you could get fucking fucked up,
I'd like that.
But I don't like Valiums and Vicodins and
I like
shit,
that.
no.
I like downers. I like pot that makes you really low, like really, really tired. Just to fucking zone out and sleep on it. I like that. I like downers. I don't like uppers. Because I'm so nervous already. I feel like I'm so full of anxiety and shit,
I have to tell Felicia something that I want to tell you something, Felicia. So, at Cobb's, the guy that came up to you and took a picture with you, his name is Sergio Ortega.
Oh, no, he's totally a cool guy.
He's fucking dynamite guy. Sergio Ortega has been a fan of the podcast since like the 3rd
Very
episode.
sweet guy. Yeah.
He told us a story about him fucking his wife in an ambulance, and I fucked with him. At that time, it was just me and Felicia, so I was trying to be controversial with Felicia, so we fucked with Sergio and told him he couldn't do it, but he stayed a fan of the show, and he's a friend now and stuff. So I've been talking to Felicia for the last fucking 2 years. I'm trying to get myself this Playboy, which I'm gonna give to you. Oh my!
Why? What is it?
What?
The name, it's an article I read my senior year in high school. It's called Confessions of a Cocaine Cowboy. It was about a cowboy football player that played for the Dallas Cowboys, and his name was Hollywood Thomas Henderson. Thomas Hollywood Henderson. He was a black guy that was amazing. He was fucking a great football player. But the article was it was about freebasing. This article came out in October of 79, of 80.
Makes me laugh.
And that's when freebasing was big.
Yeah.
This guy had been doing it. And in the article, Felicia, I'm going to read it to you. He talks about going to the Comedy Store with the Pointer Sisters to pick up Richard Pryor. That he would, every time he had a break from football, he would get the baddest hotel on the Strip, and he would rent a limo for $500, and he would just go pick up celebrities and shit. This guy was crazy. And he goes, I still remember going to the Comedy Store with Anita Pointer, cooking in the back of the limo right on Sunset, and waiting for Richard Pryor to do his set to come off. The thing opens up like this, because I looked at it and I go, this is amazing. It opened up. I got drafted rookie season of 75. The camp was in Thousand Oaks, the Dallas Cowboy camp. He goes, I was a little nervous, so I walked in there with some reefer, some acid, a couple hits of THC, fucking cocaine. I'm like, it's 75. This guy was out of college, and he was, you have to read this shit.
Yeah.
I had to put it down like it took me 3 nights to read it. I'm like,
That's
no wonder this article fucking. So the point is, I want to give Sergio a thank and a shout out for sending us the fucking Playboy. I got some pictures he wants us to sign and send
nice.
back to him. So we
Okay.
got to do that and stuff like that.
Very nice.
So you'll see with the podcast. Right now with the podcast that you and your husband do.
Yeah,
Are you
your
seeing a lot
mom's
of fucking animals out there?
Do we have a what?
A lot of fans come up to you and
yeah,
talk to you. How
love it.
fun is it?
It's the
fucking best.
Because I'm at the point in my career where the audience, they don't know who the hell you are. So even just to have 10 people that are down for you, it's the best feeling.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll do
It's
cartwheels
really
for
cool.
those
Yeah.
10 people who showed up, who know who the fuck you are and who are on board. Yeah, it's the best. I love it.
It really is.
And this is great because they get to know you in addition to knowing listen to my fucking CD if you want to hear who I am comedically, but this is me too. And if they like you when you're just you, it's even better.
Oh yeah, last year I was at the Edmonton Mall, and you know how big that fucking mall
Yeah.
is, biggest mall in the world. And I hear from across the other way, Felicia Michaels, and I was like, wow, and it was from the podcast, yeah.
Oh,
And I hate even calling them fans because they become
not, they're
like
listeners.
friends.
they're friends.
You know, we were kids and we'd be a fan of somebody who had their poster on the wall. I'm a fan of him. Now,
Yeah.
you could see anybody on the fucking street and talk to them. You could,
And they tweet you and
you
shit.
could tweet you.
Yeah.
So they're not really fans anymore. We become part of a network, and especially us.
Yes.
I've known your husband for. We're all connected, but it's so weird what's going on.
I like
right
it.
now, and I like it too. Fuck.
You know why I like it? I like it because when I say I like to call them listeners, because it's like people have really lost the art of just listening
I agree, yeah.
and imagining the stories in your head, and you could talk to people and you would imagine everything. And I think people like my kids, like the younger generation, I don't think do that as much. And so when people do listen, they are your friends.
When I
Mm-hmm.
first got together with Felicia and we spoke about doing the podcast, I told her right out, I said, the only way I'm going to do this with you is if they listen.
Yeah.
I want to bring that gift back that we don't have no more in this
Mm-hmm.
country. People will listen. You can tell somebody something 10 minutes and they'll call you back and ask you again. You're like, really? Are you fucking that retarded? It's just part of our day. We just don't listen no more. When I grew up, you had to fucking listen. I grew up when you had to listen to Richard Pryor. Shh. Shh. My mom's in the other fucking room. Hey, don't we have a new sponsor?
We do. We have Gamefly,
Ooh,
and there's
they're
also a
great.
banner on our website for Gamefly. So if I have kids, and so does your husband play games at all?
Oh yeah, we love Gamefly because
yeah?
it's like they just deliver it to your front door. You don't have to do
Yeah.
anything.
Because before,
Call
didn't
of
you have
Duty
like a lot of discs hanging
Yeah.
around? They get scratched and fucked up because you're too
Yeah.
drunk to put it back in the container.
Yeah, and the best part about Gamefly is that you can have the game, beat the game, and then send it
Send
right
it
the
back.
fuck back.
So it's not a waste.
No, it's awesome, yeah.
By the way, there's no late fees. There's no hassles with access to all the new releases. And it'll work on your PlayStation, your Nintendo Wii, your Xbox, even your PC. And for our listeners, you can get a free 15-day 2-disc trial value if you go to our website page at www.beautyandthebeast.com and click on the banner. Or you can go directly to www.gamefly.com/BEAST. I went to Coney Island for the first time. Have you ever been
never
to
been there.
Joey, have you ever grifted in Coney Island?
You don't want
That's
to
the
know my
operative.
Coney Island story.
Really? Next week we'll do your Coney Island story.
No, that's when I floated into a piece of shit. I was about 6 years old. My mom and her partner, I tortured them. Please take me to the beach. After fun, my mom had a dry cleaner in the Bronx. They took me to Coney Island, and the couple was with my mom, and they were on the beach. There was nobody there. Like nobody. It's 4 or 5 in the afternoon. It's summer of 71 or something. I'm in the water like a little Cuban kid. Yay, yay. All of a sudden I pop my head up and I see something. Felicia, it was a piece of shit.
No.
And it was just going, I'll never forget how it was moving. And it was right in front of me spinning. I remember I nearly fucking died. I ran out of that water. Then I went back and I didn't drown. I got caught in a
whirlpool?
A whirlpool, and that was my fuck Coney
Was the
Island.
shit going around with you?
I didn't see it that day. I would have died because I think the shit was going to hit
You
me
were
in the
screaming.
eyeball.
It got closer to your mouth. Mama, mama.
So you're going to Africa next week for 3 weeks.
I'm going to Africa tomorrow. Tommy and I are going
Wow.
tomorrow. I still haven't packed. Yeah, for 3 weeks.
And then when you come back, where you at?
Well, I come back and then I go to Miami Improv, September 13th through 16. That's a crazy club.
That's a crazy club. And hopefully the people are listening, because when I went down, they put me in the Miami Herald, and they got it through listening to the podcast.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully they'll put you in the Herald and give you a little fucking light down there.
I hope so.
That's a great
man.
club if you have light. If you don't have no light at that club, it's a long fucking week. That club's got to have people in it for it to really be. That's one of those weird clubs, because Coconut Grove used to be a great place, but now the demographics of the city have shifted.
Yeah.
So everybody's going downtown. So Coconut Grove's like a thing of the past. To be the kingpin is a thing of the past. Yeah. So you got to bring fucking people up there. So what's the date you're going to be down there?
September 13th through 16. Come out and see me. Miami Improv.
305-441-8200. That's how I fucking roll.
Wow.
You understand me? A lot of people don't roll that way, but if you want to sell tickets,
That is so
that's
sexy.
how you gotta fucking roll right
I know.
there.
I almost want to stick my nose in Christina's butt on that
Jesus Christ. This is what I'm talking about.
I can't wait. I love it.
And then we just got some dates. Me and Felicia doing another Beauty and the Beast little NorCal tour. This time at the San Jose Improv, bitches. October 1st through the 4th. Get your tickets. And beside down there, I'm in Nashville next week, motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm at Zany's Wednesday, 615-269-0221. Call for motherfucking tickets right now. Beside that, Felicia Michaels, it's 101 episode.
I know. Thank you so much for being
yeah.
a part of our
Yeah,
first
Thank you for having me.
You're
Yeah.
our first guest after the fucking century.
Oh, I love it. You guys are the best. Thank
That's
you so
why I
much
love
for
you, man.
having me.
Thank you very much
I love
for
you
coming
too very
on, man.
much. Wanna make
Next
out-
time I'll comb my hair for you. I combed my hair when Stephen Bauer was here. I brushed
dare
my
you.
teeth.
Oh, she
I
looked
put
beautiful
lipstick
with
on.
Stephen.
You fuck, I curled my hair. But for you, next time.
You have to come on your mom's house too. We had Joey on, which is like one of our biggest episodes. People.
Well, what
Really
is
good
it about shit
Come on.
stories? What?
Well,
Yeah.
we prefer shit stories, but you can tell any other stories that you have
Oh, really?
queefing or peeing or
Oh, really? Oh,
vomiting.
really?
Yeah. anything you
Wow.
want.
I'm so in.
Yeah, come over.
See you next week, cocksuckers. We love you. Throw a kiss, Felicia. Christine, give me a kiss.
Wow.
There you go.